Welcome to another episode of Let's Play Hull City in Football Manager 2018. And today we have a special opponent. And the reason why I call it a special opponent, it's because we're up against Aston Villa. And I feel like it's been a team, we have followed each other for basically since the start of this series. If you go back to the first season, the first team we ever played against in the first episode of the first championship game, well, Aston Villa. And of course, the team that decided to join us for the Premiership, well, Aston Villa. And then the first ever game we played in the Premiership, who did we start against? Well, Aston Villa. And as you might remember, the first episode this season, we only managed to get a draw away. And the game before that was, let's see if we can find it here. It was this one, another draw. So in our last two games against them, we have managed to only, actually every single game, even this one, I didn't remember it. So we played Aston Villa 3 times in this series and we still haven't managed to beat them. And I feel like today is the day we have to, because looking at the league table, they're currently in the bottom of the table, but with 11 points, it's not that many points for them to be actually safer. They're going to be very motivated. And remember, all these 3 teams ahead of them have played 1 more game. So if they beat us, they will be up here, just behind Newcastle for the safe spot. And for us, it's actually, this part of the table is very, very, very close. I mean, we have 22 points, but it's not many points down to like this part, and then not many points up to this part. So it's a very close league table here, and we definitely can't feel safe yet, even though if we're in a good position. There's been some news about, actually, they told me like in press conferences that 40 points is usually what's needed to stay safe in the Premiership. They said it in like, I believe, like 3 different press conferences, talked about 40 points and asked me if I believe we can reach it. And as you can see, we have 22 points. And those 22 points is we have just reached half time of the league. We are back, as I said, versus Villa, where we started the season. So right now, if we can do as well during the second part, we should be safe. But, I mean, we have had some lucky wins during this time, so I'm not sure if we can do as well. But at the same time, I mean, there have been some unlucky losses also. And talking about losses, since last episode, the win away versus Stoke, we played 3 games. And I would say all these 3 games is kind of special. First, we played Chelsea. And Chelsea, as you know, they are in 2nd place. So they are having a great season. But it was really, really close. Looking at the chances here, the shots, they were dominating the game, but at the same time, they only managed to get 4 on target, only 1 clear-cut chance, and they scored a winner in the 69th minute, so basically only 20 minutes left of the game when they scored. So it was a pretty boring game, not much happened. Chelsea were the better team, but still, with that late of a goal, we were feeling like maybe perhaps we could dream. And then we had this madness of a game versus United. Look at this. Away at Old Trafford, and the score is 3 versus 4. And this was Football Manager on crack. It was crazy. So we got the early lead. I was like, whoa, could this be real? Do we actually have the chance of beating United on Old Trafford? But then look at this. In basically 12 minutes, they scored 4 goals. Nacho in the 18th, and we even helped them with an own goal in the 23rd. And then just 1 minute later, Juan Mata, and then Mkhitaryan in the 30th. So we went from like, whoa, this is a beautiful start, till this is a nightmare. And then I changed things around and actually played a bit different, a formation I haven't used before, playing with 3 straight off central midfielders. I started with a normal formation. I was actually starting with 2 defensive midfielders, like really trying to play defensively away versus United. But then I just brought them up to a straight line here, and we started performing pretty well. And yeah, that was crazy. And actually, Hernandez missed the chance when he was alone with their goalkeeper. So we could have equalized there. It was crazy, crazy, crazy. And then we got this sensational win versus Liverpool. And Liverpool were struggling in the beginning of the season. They're still struggling a bit, but yeah, they are getting further and further away from us. But that was a very, very good very good three-pointer for us. And looking at the chances here is also a kind of interesting game because they were dominant. Look at this, 18 shots. But actually only 5 of them were on target and only 1 clear-cut chance. Well, we had 2 clear-cut chances. So even though they were creating a crazy amount of shots, looking at these statistics, most of their shots were like far away, long shots. So it wasn't as bad as it looks, and it was a fantastic win. Look at that, it cost us with an 86-minute win. And I mean, considering how many times we lost it in the last few minutes, this feels great that we finally were able to do it ourselves. But another huge thing about this being the second game versus Villa means we have reached the second part of the season, means it's January now, which means the transfer window have opened. And that is interesting because, as you know, we talked about it last episode, we have quite some transfer budget ready here. We have room in our wage budget. We are most likely, I'm not saying we're going to sign anybody, but we are definitely going to try if we can get some good bang for our bucks. And looking at our team, it's only 1 player that other clubs are after, and it's Grosicki. And actually 2 players. It's also Dicko. Dicko is finally back after his like 9-10 months long injury he got last season. But my intent is to sell him on. He is injury prone, and yeah, we all know that how many times he got injured in last season, so I think it's the right option. But I have been scouting like a madman, and these are players that are currently transfer listed, and actually there's more of them, but these are the ones that the game says are interested in joining us. And I've actually already made an offer for one of them, and it's Gnabry from Bayern Munich. He's transfer listed for only 7.5 mil, and I feel like that's a steal. If you can get him for 7.5 mil, that's a sensational signing. So I have made a bid for him. They have, of course, accepted the bid because he's transfer listed, and I have made him a contract offer, but I'm still definitely not certain if I'm going to get him, and that's the reason of that is that quite a few other clubs are interested in him. And I mean, I'm a cheap bastard, try to negotiate his wage down and so on, and probably one of the other clubs going to spend a lot of money. But I feel like this could be a really good signing for us if we can get him, especially for this price. 7.5 mil, that's a steal. But I am interested in quite a few of them. I mean, Lucas Moura definitely wouldn't be a bad signing, and he is transfer listed for 11 mil. I'm keeping track of them, and I'm interested in. I mean, even Delph could be a pretty decent signing, considering his stats and considering that Grujic is going to be out for so many months. And maybe even some of them that the UI says not interesting in us, maybe we can talk to them and have them change their mind or something. Because we have some money, and I'm interested in transfers. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens. And our squad, we're doing a lot of rotations. It's been a tough schedule. You can see here a lot of players are down to like 92, 93% fitness, which means we are rotating. We don't have our best players in every position. But I actually feel like I was talking about that a few episodes ago, and I kind of feel like it's the right choice to do. And I've actually kind of seen it from, especially now when we're playing those tougher games versus Chelsea and Man United and Liverpool, because it was a tough schedule, but I rotated. I didn't care if I used weaker players, because since most of my players are mediocre, it's not a huge difference between them. And for every game we played during that tough schedule, our lads were fit, while they had, in every game, we were up against players that, like, oh my god, a potential early injury there for Hernandez. But even during the first half, like late first half, as you can see here, they have players that are already down to 70-something% fitness, while our players expect Hernandez to pick something up. It's like 90%. And that was the same thing in those 3 games. United, Chelsea, Liverpool, they had players that were down to 60-something% fitness levels at the late first half, while all our players was fit. And I believe that's one of the reasons, and that's a nightmare of a start. An early goal for Villa, Scott Hogan with a header. But yeah, I believe that was one of the reasons that we could play as good as we did against them, that we actually could challenge them, because our team was so much fitter. so much fitter, and hopefully it will show in this Villa game also, because right now we are behind and we are playing at home. This is not the start we wanted. But I mean, especially the Liverpool game, we scored both our goals pretty late in the second half, and of course another injury has been the story of this save, haven't it? The story of the save. Calabria out with an injury. I mean, this wouldn't be this Hull save if you wouldn't get injuries, would it? Because you all remember the first season was a terrible nightmare, and of course that looked like an offside though, but maybe it bounced off one of our players. No, it's an offside. Yeah, I thought it was. Looking at this, we have 6 shots to 2, and still we haven't got a single highlight. But yeah, injuries has definitely been the story of our life. Not only like Dicko's 10-month injury, the start of the first season. And of course, talking about injuries, this is a joke. This is the game laughing in my face. Hernandez out with an injury. And like at the Sports Interactive, the creators of this game, at their office now, I can see how they are like laughing. They're like tearing up because they have like a button. They are watching this live between like some game UI. They are laughing, and then they see me do this, and they just press the button. And whenever they press the button, one of my players get injured. But yeah, this has been a nightmare of first off. I'm gonna go aggressive, but I mean, that's very frustrating, really frustrating, and maybe we should go for that re-midfielder thing that we did versus United. Let's try it. I'm gonna go with a let's say deep line. You're gonna focus a bit on defense. The Bright, you're gonna be the ball-winning midfielder, and then Larson focusing on attack. And we are going to go attack here with the mentality. Is there anything want to change? Not now, I believe. Yeah, looking at statistics, we were kind of dominating things, but we didn't get a single highlight, and that's not good enough. We need to step it up in the second one, and those 2 injuries is very worrisome. And here is a goal kick for Villa. Maybe we can intercept it. Maybe we can turn it around. Dawson, what are you doing, Captain? Focus here. No mistakes are allowed. Moreno for Lukaku. Lukaku on the left side. Can he get into the box? Yes, I can! Yes, I can! And who is it but Lapadula, and he scores again. Our goal-scoring machine, our brilliant Italian star, and our by far top goal scorer this season. And beautiful. And that's a fantastic pass by Lukaku. Is kind of his goal, because I mean Lapadula can't miss that one, can he? He sets him up completely. But we're not pleased with this one. We need more. We are playing at home, and we know we have faced off against them 3 times before, and we have never won. Could this be the day? Maybe. Here's a throw-in. Can we get into the box? And that was an optimistic cross. And oh my God, Lukaku, what are you doing? What are you doing? Please win it back to redeem yourself. Here's Larson. Lapadula back to Larson. Trying to find Bowen. Lukaku maybe is going to redeem himself now. He sets up Bowen. And that was a pretty decent try. Pretty decent. Yeah, maybe I should play this straight midfield formation more often, because clearly looks like it works. And considering the injury situation, we only have 1 sub left. And I mean, we need to wait a little bit longer in case we get a 3rd injury. I mean, can you mean again 3 injuries in a game? But just talking about it are probably going to happen. So I should stop speaking about things like that. It's a highlight. So let's look at it. Bowen loses it. Maybe Villa. Oh, it's going to be a red card. Well, that's good news for us. That's really good news for us. And it's going to be a free kick in a decent position, but it looks like we're not going to get to see that free kick. So let's go for subs instead. Larson is really tired. Let's bring in Henriksen in his position. And yeah, see if we can create something here during the last few minutes. But the clock is just ticking away. I'm actually willing to risk this a slight bit here. We want to try everything we can here. I'm not going to go overloading, not crazy, but we are definitely trying to push forward here. But the clock's just ticking. We're creating more chances when they had And they had 11 players on the pitch. Since they were down to 10, we basically haven't created anything. Here's Villa instead into the box. And that's a full-time whistle. Okay, I'm glad that we managed to make the comeback. I'm disappointed with the way we started this game. I'm very worried about those 2 injuries. So let's quickly finish team talk and tell the lads I expect more. And then pray to the football manager RNG gods that is nothing serious. 4 weeks, a month, we could handle it. We have another good option in that position. And 1 to 2 days, beautiful. I mean, considering the Greek injury in last episode, I was just expecting the worst. But that's something we can handle. Not too pleased that we only managed to get 1 point, but still 1 point is better than none. And yeah, this has been a lot of talking this episode and a pretty quick game. So next episode is probably going to be ASAP the West Ham game, because they are really competing with us. They are just behind us, 2 points behind us, and they have 1 less game, so they might even overtake us during this round. So yeah, you're probably not going to miss anything. I believe next game will be the West Ham game. And talking about West Ham, we're actually going to play them twice, because we got really unlucky with the FA Cup draw and got another Premiership side. And there were like a lot of teams from far down the league system. Look at the names here. It's not like Championship clubs. It's like League One. It's even lower than League 2 teams and so on. But we got the Premiership side. So we're probably going to lose that one. But I don't care as long as we stay alive in the league. We are going to focus this game by far in this game. I mean, Burnley and West Ham is much more important than West Ham in the Cup. But yeah, enough talking. That's it for this episode. As always, thank you so much for sharing your time with me, and I'll see you in the next episode.